Okay, second time I'm doing this video. First time, did not have the volume on. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. So write the equation of a line. There are two formulas that you need to know. The Regents has actually used both of them. The first one you're probably most familiar with, slope-intercept form, and that is y equals mx plus b. The second one you're probably not as familiar with, but you need to become familiar with it. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. They both, when simplified, get you back to slope-intercept form. What's nice is for the first two examples are super easy. When you write the equation of a line, given the slope and the y-intercept, you're just plugging in the stuff that you know already. So if the slope is 8, that's your m. If the y-intercept is -5, that's your b. The equation of the line is y equals 8x minus 5. Just like for this one, your m is -2/3, your b is 2. Your equation is y equals -2/3 x plus 2. Okay, so when you're given the slope and the y-intercept, it's super easy to get your line. You need to have the slope and the y-intercept for everything in order to write your lines, the equation of your lines, and that's what we're going to be doing. So this way is easy. Next two ways. If you need to write given the graph, you've got to determine your slope and the y-intercept. On this first graph, from left to right, I think of a person walking uphill. If that's the case, I think about my slope being positive. Well, if I need to find the slope of this line, I'm going to pick 2 points on the line. Here's a point, here's a point. I'm going to trace my path up 4 over 2. So I know that my slope in this case, I went up 4 positive to the right 2, which is positive. The slope is just 2. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and that's at 1. And now I'm back to the first page where y equals mx plus b. Y equals 2x plus 1. Second graph, from left to right, I think of a person walking downhill. The slope in this case is negative. I've got to find 2 points on my graph and trace my path from one point to the next. Here's a definite point. Here's a definite point. Because I'm going down and to the right, my slope is negative, and I went down 1 to the right 2. The point where this line crosses the y-axis is 2. I'm back to the first page again, and it's really easy to write the equation of the line when you know the slope and the y-intercept. Now when you're given some points, it's a little bit different, and I'm going to do each of these with the 2 different formulas. Well, I'll do them one with each formula. Well, you'll see. So write an equation of the line that passes through the point. If I choose to use slope-intercept, y equals mx plus b, if I look at what I'm given, every ordered pair gives me an x and a y coordinate, and the slope gives me the m. All I don't know is the b. So what I'm going to do is plug in the things I know and solve for what I don't. So the y is the value of 2, the slope is 3, multiplied by the x coordinate plus what I don't know. This then becomes 2 equals 3 plus b. To solve for b, you subtract 3 on both sides. This was a 2. I'm subtracting 3 on both sides. -1 equals b. And now I can go back to the equation of the line because I've got my slope and I've got my y-intercept. So the equation of the line becomes y equals 3x minus 1. This one I'm going to actually use point slope for this guy. So for this one, I'm going to use the formula y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And again, you do need to know both. So what happens here is I do have my x and my y coordinates again, and I do have my slope again. But what makes this coordinate different is these are the x1, y1 values. That's what's going to get plugged in here and here. Because the y and the x, the first part, these guys are always constant. These never change. You're always going to have like y equals mx plus b. So those you don't touch. So what happens is I've got y minus, I'm going to plug something in for y1, equals slope, parentheses, x minus, and I'm going to plug something in for x1. So y minus y1 was 3. Slope, m, which is negative 4, equals x minus the x-coordinate is negative 1. What's nice about this particular formula is once you simplify it, you go right to the equation of the line. Double negatives give you a positive. When you do the math, y minus 3 equals, distribute negative 4x minus 4, add 3 to both sides, write down to the equation that you want, y equals negative 4x minus 1. Okay, pretty much the same amount of steps. Doesn't matter if, if one's easier than the other, that's fine, but you need to know both. I've seen on the Regents where they ask you for the equation of the line and they give you your answer in point slope, not in slope intercept. These both mean the exact same thing. These are the same. I think this one is better, but the Regents have given you the other one. Okay, so this guy right here, let me make this a bit smaller, whoopsie. So this one right here wants you to write an equation of the line that passes through the point 2 comma 5 and is parallel to a line that has a slope of 5. Well, parallel lines have the same slopes. So that means the slope, m, of a parallel line is still going to be 5. The point that they give you is 2, 5. We'll do this one with y equals mx plus b. And then I'll do the other one, point slope. So what happens here is I'm going to plug in 5 for y. That's this 5 goes in for the y. The slope is this 5. The x is the 2 plus the b. 5 equals 10 plus b. Solve for b by subtracting by 10. Negative 5 equals b. Therefore, the equation of the line is y equals 5x minus 5. Let's go to the next one. This wants us to do it through the point 0, 2, and it wants us to be perpendicular to the line who's got the slope of negative 1/2. Remember, if you're perpendicular, you're negative reciprocals. So that means the slope of a perpendicular, that's a symbol for perpendicular, is going to be the negative reciprocal, or 2 over 1. So what I'm going to do here is this guy, y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. And I know that this is x1, this is y1, this is m. So now I do y minus y1 equals m, whoopsie, put that in red, equals m x minus x1. Now when I go ahead and distribute, y minus 2 equals 2x minus 0. Add 2, and the equation becomes y equals 2x plus 2. Okay, next one. This one needs to be parallel. Okay, so we know that if lines are parallel, they have the same slope. So parallel has the same slope. This is my x, this is my y. I will go back to the other format. Just the regular slope intercept where you plug in the things that you know. So the y coordinate is 3, the slope is negative 3, the x coordinate is 0. I don't know b. 3 equals 0 plus b, which means 3 equals b. So this one's actually pretty nice, and the equation is going to be y equals slope negative 3x plus b. That one was kind of quick. Let's go for the last one. Last one, I'll do the point slope way. This is perpendicular. So if I'm perpendicular with this, the slope of a perpendicular line is going to be the negative reciprocal, which means 1 over 4. Y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. When I start dumping in stuff, y minus, here's my y1, equals, here's the slope, 1/4, x minus, here's the x1. When I go through and distribute here, I get y minus 1 equals 1/4 x minus 1/4. And then I have to add 1 to both sides. So I've got to add 1 to both sides. And then I'm going to get y equals 1/4 x. Before I do that, remember 1 whole is the same thing as 4/4. So if I'm being asked to do -1/4 plus 4/4, hopefully you remember that's just 3/4. So this one really becomes 3/4, and all done. Okay, so there you go. You can use point slope form. You can use slope intercept form. I don't care. My preference is point slope. You should recognize and know how to do both. Good luck on the homework.